Hello everyone, it's me, Nancy Finch, doing another Tea with Nan on a Monday. I know it's Bank Holiday Monday and everyone's going to be thinking, well, I'm out and about doing stuff if you're lucky. But I thought I'd come on anyway today because I thought, well, next week is going to be the coronation. So there's going to be another bank holiday next week. So I didn't want to do 2 weeks without actually coming on here and saying hi to everybody and making sure you're all okay. So, so I hope you're having a lovely day so far. It's lovely out there, beautiful weather. I'm having lots of fun, doing lots of things around the house already and got a nice time planned later. So I hope that you are all doing the same, enjoying the weather, enjoying each other. And I hope somebody can come on here. And if not, just say hi later or watch it later or whatever. At least I've done it. I wanted to come on and say something about get out your own comfort zone today. So grab your cuppa. I've got an Aquarius cup here. I love my Aquarius cup. Oh, someone's on already. Hello, whoever you are, say hi. I'll send you a nice Nan hug. So get out your comfort zone today. That's what we're talking about. I mean, how many of us really get out of our comfort zones? Not many. No, people sort of tend to stick with what they know, don't they? They think I've got to be in control of stuff. So basically we keep our world quite narrow, don't we? We do this, we do that. We know we can do that. So we keep it a bit limited. And we need to stretch that. Hi, Julie. Lovely to see you. Happy Monday. Hugs to you. You're the very first person on here today. So I'm sending you the first hug. I hope you can follow the whole 20 minutes or whatever we're doing, because a lot of people are so busy. But if not, just as I say, listen to more of it later. But it's all about get out your comfort zone today. I've done a similar Tea with Nan a while back on the 3rd of the 10th, 22nd. And it was all about get out your own way. Very similar. Get out your own way is about recognising. Oh, thank you, Julie. Happy hugs to you and a heart as well. So get out your own way, that the one I did previous with the 3rd of the 10th, 22, was really about being inspired to look and recognise what areas of your life you needed to improve. Where did you want to go? Do you want to do this or change this or do whatever? So it was something to inspire you, really, to recognise those dreams, those aspirations. This particular talk today is all about getting out, recognising it, what you need to do, but having the courage to move forward, to get out your own way. You know, quite often we're in our own way. I've done it lots of times as well, all my life actually. I was thinking before I changed my life, I had to recognise I needed courage to do that, or a little bit of confidence to get out and try something I've never tried before. We all stick with what we know, don't we? I mean, we do that when we go to restaurants. We buy the same food that we already know because we know that food and we stick with that. But how often do we get out of our comfort zones in other areas if we're recognising that we need to stretch, we need to be more ourselves, we need to develop ourselves through that change? So otherwise we just become, our walls of our lives get smaller and smaller. You see that happening when people get older. You know, sometimes you stick in a place where you just know that space and you know that job or you know that place, you know, your family, your life, your whole way, your whole routine can stay like that. Without realising it, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And so you end up with less choices and less stretching, less stimulation. You need that for your mind and your body. You need to be stimulated by something that scares you, something that makes you think, can I do that? So I've got a whole list of things here on my board, quite a long list actually, to show you how I did it and maybe to inspire you so you can make some changes yourself. So the first thing that came to mind when I wrote this out was I was always very, very nervous about driving anywhere on my own. In fact, I never drove on a motorway for years. Even though I passed my test first time, I still didn't have any confidence to go anywhere that was out my comfort zone. So I had to really force myself to get on a motorway and drive somewhere, you know, and perhaps to stay over somewhere. And it started like that. I thought, what can I do, even on a tiny level, what can I do to get myself out my comfort zone? And it might have been taking myself for a meal on my own. You know, we didn't have phones so much then. And I was thinking, can I do that? Can I actually, oh, hi, Rose. Lovely to see you, darling. Big, big hug to you. Lots of love. So I'm talking about getting out my comfort zone. And of course, Rose, my darling friend, knows about how I've had to do that, as a lot of us have, and how we can move forward once we've been challenged. We challenge ourselves, don't we? So I thought, well, I'm going to get in that car. I'm going to go somewhere. I don't know. I'm going to book somewhere. I'm going to stay there. I'm going to work somewhere. I went abroad, I went all different places, and I certainly thought, well, I'm going to work more in this country. I'm going to go there and there and there, all over the place, and drive myself there. And the first couple of times I did it, I really had to concentrate on I can. I just get my higher self to do it. I'll come to that later about how we can use tricks with ourselves to bring that best part of us out, to get that job done, to be where we want to be. So yeah, so basically traveling all parts of the country. I did that. Once I started to do it, your trust is, you start to feel you can trust yourself and that you can go there. You've done it once. It might be okay to do it again, and maybe you'll stretch yourself that little bit further, or a bit further still. You know, it's like, oh, hi, Annie, lovely to see you. Happy Monday hugs to you, my darling. I hope you're well. So yeah, I did it when I wanted to travel. I did it when I wanted to do this kind of work, and therapy work and workshops all over the place. Oh, that's nice. I love the hugs. So when I went to the Isle of Wight quite a lot and other places I didn't know, I had to really take myself there, book my place, go on my own, be my own support and be my own best friend. I've done that a lot. Oh, hi, Jane. Lovely to see you too. Happy Monday. So what was I going to do? I was just going to have to take it slowly. So the little things I did, the little challenges I overcome, I've got loads of hearts and cuddles. Thank you. So the things I overcome led me on to more things that I could overcome. So the more I did it, the more I felt like I could. And I felt like my higher self, the best part of me, was developing through those changes that I was forcing myself to do. Perfect. It got me into a place that I'm now on here. I wouldn't be on here if I didn't get out my comfort zone. Being so dyslexic and in lockdown, I had to connect with people again. Could I do it? And I made quite a few Bridget Jones mistakes in my videos. I love it. I will not take them down because I had to own all of that development, and I had to get out my comfort zone, and maybe that can inspire someone else to do the same. So I remember going to the Isle of Wight, and I wanted to get over my fear of flying. I had to fly there, and I've done quite a few flights since, by the way, but originally a few years ago I was terrified of flying. I was absolutely terrified of it, and I thought, what can I do to get over that? I know, I'm going to fly on a plane to the Isle of Wight, and then I'm going to go hang gliding. That's what will do it. Then I'll get over my fear of heights and I'll get over my fear of flying. All in one go. I thought, can I do that? Yes, I can. So I did it. I got on the plane. I got off. I did that. And that builds, as I say, builds the trust in yourself and what you can achieve. And then I imagined when I was I was going to go off a cliff right into the sky, right above the sea. Obviously someone was with me, but I was still going first. Hi, Samantha. Lovely to see you. And I thought, this is a real big thing for me because it was 10 out of 10. Absolutely terrified of going flights or being in the air in any way. So what could I do? I imagined that I came down from that flight, from that lovely experience. Oh, hi, Sam. Lovely to see you, darling. So I imagined coming back down onto the ground, feeling absolutely amazing. So I did a bit of cosmic ordering in that sense. I imagined that that was the result I was going to have. It took away all the fear because I had an intention, you know. I think I mentioned some of this in Get Up Your Own Way, as I say on the Tea with Nan on the 3rd of the 10th. But you have an intention and you put the intention out and somehow you can lock yourself into that energy rather than the fear of not doing it. I remember coming down thinking that was the best experience ever. Perfect. And I had a wonderful time. And it got me over my fear of flying. It got me over my fear of being in the air. I loved it. So most people, I mean, I know people that have done parachute jumps and all sorts, and they've been terrified. And when they've done it, they're different people. They're no longer afraid of the other stuff in life because they've got out their comfort zone. I'm not suggesting you all go and do something really crazy or big or dangerous in any way. But if you can gradually work yourself up from perhaps making that phone call you don't want to make, or connecting to a family member you'd love to talk to and haven't had the courage or the strength to do so. Maybe that phone call, maybe that email, maybe something that stretches you, it makes you feel vulnerable, yes, but look, when you've done it, you're going to feel stronger. And you're going to feel more confident and more powerful in your sense of who you are. So it could be a small thing like that. It could be trying a different food at a restaurant. It could be anything. I mean, it was lots of stuff I started to do. Once I got that idea, I could do something on my own and get out my comfort zone. I started to do things like go to Stonehenge, 22,000 people on solstice. And I remember on my own, it was always on my own. Because if I was on my own, I wouldn't have support from someone else. I wouldn't have distraction. I'd have to focus on me, giving me what I needed to get there. And I suggested to quite a few of my clients, and they've done it occasionally. Like they started to do it with this one lady I'm thinking of, wanted to travel all around Wales to see all the beautiful churches, but she wanted to take people with her. And I kept saying, well, you'll get so much more out of it. It's nice to share, of course it is. But the experience that she needed was to be self-reliant and to be self-confident about more changes that she needed to make. Thank you for the hearts and the cuddles, lovely. So she started to do it, and she said it did feel liberating. That's what I want for you. I want you to feel liberated. I want you to stretch yourself so you can be all you can be, because that will give you self-trust, and that's a wonderful gift to yourself. So I started to take myself to Stonehenge. Oh, wow, that was amazing. I loved it the whole night. And it poured down, and conditions weren't great, but I still enjoyed every bit of I did it. I drove myself there. I found my youth hostel. I like staying in youth hostels. Love them. But they're still a challenge, aren't they? You think, well, do I stay in a dormitory? Or do I stay in my own room? Well, let's have both. Let's have two experiences. So I did. Different places. I went all over Ireland, everywhere. I loved how I explored different feelings and different places. It was great. So yeah, I mean, I absolutely love youth hostels. You meet so many lovely people there. That was obviously a couple of years back. I loved it. So, and it really made me feel like I was valuing myself, you know, by stretching, by doing something new, taking my inner child by the hand and leading her off somewhere that scared her, that made her feel amazing when she'd done it. You look how children feel when they go, I don't know, they get out their comfort zones all the time, don't they? They try new things. And when children do it, they grow and expand. Well, we forget to do that as we get older. You know, or perhaps we just think it's easier or perhaps safer. It's safer to stay in that small place. And it's really good for you to get out of it. So I'm just looking at through some of these things I've written. Maybe another thing I've written there is learning how to trust love again. Maybe trusting a new relationship. You know, if you've had a failed relationship or a couple like I have, it could put you in a child in a place of I don't trust. I can't trust myself. I can't trust life. It could be meeting new people. As I say, it could be anything. So it could be a new relationship you're trying to get into. Have the courage to love again. You know, take yourself in small steps maybe. Or maybe have new friends, better friendship group maybe. Just think, how could you make those small changes or bigger changes that's going to lead you into a bigger place of self? So it might, as I say, be something tiny like changing your diet. I'm just going to, you know, have the courage to do that. I'm going to get out my comfort zone and order something different. Or I'm going to go for a walk in a place I've never been. I'm going to take myself to the cinema. I'm going to take myself to a festival or something. You know, something that takes you out of your comfort zone. Loads of people maybe. How could you be yourself inside that? And you'd be surprised how much you get from that. Because I remember I love people anyway. Not everyone does. Not everyone can be in groups of people. But if you start to move into perhaps where there's a couple of people here, or perhaps there's just a small group there, you're still stretching, aren't you? I mean, I'm quite comfortable going anywhere now, anywhere on my own. Doesn't matter where it is, I'm all right with it. But I wasn't before. I had no confidence and I couldn't drive anywhere. I just let my higher self do all that work once I learned how to play that trick with myself. And the higher self I've got to reference here is Sort It Sunshine from Nan Talks. Now, I talk about this a lot. If you go onto my website, it's www.nancyfinch.co.uk. You'll find a little chakra man on the Nan Talks. And if you could go to the yellow section here, the solar plexus area, you'll find Sort It Sunshine. One of my favourites that I made up to get out of my comfort zone was to recognise what little Nan wanted, my inner child, the one that was always frightened to get out of her comfort zone or do anything new, because I had no confidence. That was represented by my inner child. And then give it to my higher self that has already started to achieve things through courage to move forward. So I'd recognise what I want, give it to my higher self in an action, an intention, and detach. And my higher self did a grand job. It was amazing. And once you start knowing it works, you'll do more. So if you want to look at that, as I say, find it in the yellow section, Sort It Sunshine. Everyone that uses it loves it. Simple to use, simple to play a trick on your subconscious mind to bring forward the best part of yourself. One of my favourites. I use it a lot. And as we're talking about that, cross it out is in the red section of Anand Talks. That's this area here. If you go to cross it out, it's about crossing out the worry. But this could happen, and that could happen, and this could happen, and it holds us back. So you learn how to cross it out in a visual thing that I show you. And as I say, you'll find it in the red section. Go there and look at it and see, well, perhaps I could cross that fear out. Maybe I could cross, oh, hi, Joe. Nice to see you. Cross that fear out, cross that worry out, have the solution and focus on that, not that. And basically you're re-educating your mind, you're forming new synapses in your mind, and you're more likely to bring more energy to that, what you want, rather than what you don't want. So easy. Once you start doing it, you'll get into a nice habit of wanting to do it. So different things work for different people. Maybe try that and see how you get on. Another thing I've got with Tea with Nan, that's just what we're doing here. They're not colour-coded, but they are referenced by date. So 17th of the 4th, 23rd, 23 is small changes, big results. Now, when you use that, you're still giving yourself courage. You're helping your main battery. These exercises I've got help all your body. But when you get out of your comfort zone and you make the tiny changes that I'm trying to suggest you do, you are in charge. You're going to help your solar plexus. You're going to make this area, thrive. And that's your sense of identity in there as well. Body and mind will be better for it. No, oh, hi, Annie. Lovely to see you, darling. Glad you joined us. So you're helping your body when you do any of these, and you're helping your mind. You're helping the vibe you give out is going to be more confident, much more confident. Everyone loves that person that walks into a room and is the sunshine. You can become the sunshine by being more yourself. So you're a lovely influence on everybody around you. If you could get out of your comfort zone, what an inspiration you'll be for somebody else. So I'm running through this list again. As I say, it could be going anywhere on your own will definitely make you grow, even if it's a tiny little thing, a walk on your own or something that you would rather take somebody with you. Try doing it on your own. So just to see, and then perhaps in right time, I'm happy with loads of people around me now, but it really helped me to grow and to grow strong and confident and capable, more capable than I've been before. You'll find that part of you just gets amplified as you start to trust yourself. So I've got a list here of what you could do. Maybe you could add to it or tell me what you're going to do. And you can always, as I say, come back to me either on my website or my email, nancyfinch@hotmail.co.uk. Oh, hi, Stacey. Lovely to see you. So I've got a few here I want to introduce you to. I mean, it might be that you go somewhere locally that you wouldn't normally go unless you had somebody with you, or someone drive you, or someone take you there, whatever. So think about how you could possibly do that yourself, just to get that feeling of, I did it. That feeling is priceless. It's wonderful. Hi, Stacey. That's lovely. Thank you for the hearts. Nice. So go out locally. Travel more. It might be just getting on a bus somewhere and going somewhere, and then finding a whole day somewhere you haven't been before, Oh, that's lovely. Nice to see you, everybody. I'll come back to you. If I haven't answered you now, I will come back to you later. It might be to go and see an old friend. It might be you want to either ring an old friend or go and see that friend that you haven't seen for years. And it takes courage, doesn't it, to do that? Sometimes you think, well, the same person. We find excuses not to do the things we need to stretch with. So how about you find that friend again and you reunite, and you think, I did that. I took myself there, and I did that emotionally, and I took myself physically to that place. It's a great achievement. It might be to make new friends if you find your friends aren't exactly making you happy, or perhaps they're just not like you anymore, or whatever. And still keep them, that's lovely. But you might want to find new friends, and maybe join a new group of people. Maybe go walking, a new group of people that walk or go out places, and you never know where that's going to take you. But it will stretch you, and it's really good to do. Try something new I've got on here. Could be you want to go and learn something. I've got one friend who loves to do that. Just thinking about what you're saying is frightening. Yes, it is. It is frightening. Absolutely, Annie. It is. Because when you're scared of doing something, your inner child's going, but I might get it wrong. I might be vulnerable. Something bad might happen. It's a good point you make. But with that, the double-edged sword, really, basically when you start to recognise those things, you get a chance to support you in a way that you haven't before. Yes, you're frightened. Yes, you're out of your comfort zone. Yes, it's scary. And yes, something could go wrong. Of course it could. But think about the achievement of doing that. Think about how much you're going to have more petrol in your metaphoric tank to move forward and do more things that bring you happiness. If you could just start with tiny little steps. It doesn't have to be big major stuff like me when I went off a cliff and hang gliding or whatever. I mean, that's one of the biggest things I've done. And travelling everywhere was really hard. And certainly getting in that plane. But anything could have gone wrong, couldn't it? I mean, it's learning to trust yourself in tiny steps to move forward. That will bring about huge reward. Obviously, think about the danger element and do whatever you can to make sure you are safe, always, because you're protecting yourself and showing yourself value. But if you could just think, well, I can just do that bit. And it's not the end of the world if that goes wrong. Or I'm just going to give that a go. I'm going to put myself in safe hands to guide me through that. It might be, as I say, when I went off the cliff, I wasn't on my own. I wasn't going to just go and do that on my own. I had to have somebody professional that was behind me doing this with me. But I still got off that cliff first. I still had to take the courage to do it. Now, if I can do it, and I was always scared of everything. I was stressed about everything all my life. I was scared of every move I made. I didn't trust myself to do anything. No confidence. You won't believe that now. When people know me, they go, wow, how did you get from this person who is so tiny and so scared of everything to a person who is fearful every day, to a person who will engage fear and do it anyway? Because I've had to learn to do tiny steps. So it might be when I first started driving. I mean, when I passed my test years ago, I didn't drive for 10 years. I was too scared. So I got myself in the car and I took myself just 3 miles up the road and came back. I did it. I think it's only 3 miles, but I did it. And in the end, that 3 miles became 30 and then 300. Before I knew it, I was off doing things easily. But we have to take the tiny steps, Annie. That's how we do it. And anyone here that's listening can understand. We all get moments where we're thinking, that's way out of my comfort zone. I can't do that. And I can't talk at that wedding. And I can't sing on that stage. And I do that as well. But there was a time I couldn't. There was a time I had no confidence to do anything. I didn't trust myself. And now I've got this light-hearted, carefree inner child that wants to do new things. So maybe learn a new skill. Maybe just do that, Annie, or other people listening, of course. Find something that says, can I do that? And maybe change that. I change every can I to I can. Write that down. I change every can I to I can. And just fool your subconscious mind, because it's listening. 95% is listening to what you're saying. And only 5% is arguing that it's not safe. I feel vulnerable. This bit believes you. I change every can I to I can. Do that. And do it anyway. Sign up for it. I've got people going to choirs and dance classes that they never thought they were going to do. But how much fun is that when they've achieved it? One lady I know joined a drumming group and she's brilliant. And it's made her more confident. And if she's listening on here later, she'll know I'm talking about her. She's great inspiration to other people. When you think back at who you used to be and who you are now, you need some measurement. So taking tiny, tiny steps. And bigger steps when you're ready, if you feel like it, to get out of your comfort zone. Can't say, it might be anything. I can't say how important it is enough. But you will feel that new energy inside you. Inspirational. Okay? She said, oh yeah, it's frightening. I've just read more of that. I thought I'd read some more after that. Sorry. Okay, so it might be that you need to exercise more. I know I do. So getting out my comfort zone might be going down the gym or going for a jog. You see what I'm saying? Get more sleep. That's another one. Some people, it's like a new habit you're forming, isn't it? Get out your comfort zone, maybe form a new habit, you know? Get out in nature. If that's not your style and you want to stay indoors, then your comfort zone would be out of it, would be out there, wouldn't it? Am I safe out there? Yes. Most of the fears we worry about don't happen. You know, we just close our walls in case. We stay in a small space. And it might be another thing. Might be to wear clothes that you would normally like to wear, but you think, I'm too old for that. Well, I know one lady who wanted to get out of her comfort zone, so she started wearing bright colours and things that she wanted to wear, or a different style, okay? And at first she thought, well, people might judge me on that. But if she got out of her comfort zone and felt comfortable in who she was and how she was putting herself out there, that was the thing that really made her own herself. For her, it was changing her clothes to make her clothes made her feel like she was being brave enough to wear them. It could be anything at all, as small as that. It's a big thing because you're starting to trust yourself. What else have I got on here? As I say, learn to love again, maybe a new relationship, and maybe just learning to love yourself. Get out your comfort zone, maybe treat yourself to something, something you probably wouldn't have given yourself, or get out your comfort zone and love you. Maybe it could be as simple as that. Trust yourself, trust your wise self. Maybe try one of my Nan talks. That's going to get you out your comfort zone, isn't it? Because that will give you something you need and haven't done. And you might think, well, I'm going to give it a go, but I'm not sure. So that could go wrong, or I might be no good at it. Those are self-doubts, lack of self-trust, and lack of trust in the world or what we've got around us. We can, by the law of attraction, we can attract more good things and more success into our life if we feel success. But we have to feel success, even on a tiny scale, before we can then amplify that and bring more into our life. So if you want to be successful, you have to get out of your comfort zone, and you have to risk not getting that right, or getting lost when you're driving, or anything negative from that. You risk it, but at a really lovely reward. When honestly, I can say that everything I've got out of my comfort zone with has brought me some good things. Even when I got it wrong online, it doesn't matter. I've still learned to love me more. There's always a positive. So I can honestly recommend, get out your comfort zone, find ways to do it, take yourself places, dare to do it, and feel so achieved when you've done it. And then give yourself a hug going, well done me. I did that. And that's another one you can find in my Nan talks in the yellow section, well done me. A great one to reflect on how you achieved that day. That's going to give you a nice feeling of being in control. And when you feel in control, you feel you can be yourself. You feel you can enjoy life more. And all of these energies feel better because you are making plans, doing things, moving forward, and stretching into who you're supposed to be. And quite often we don't do that. We need to liberate ourselves. Okay? So I think I've covered everything in today. Perhaps you can come back to me. If you have any questions, go back to my email, nancyfinch@hotmail.co.uk. And we can always arrange a little one-to-one session to get you out your comfort zone. But I think we're coming to a close now. And thank you for the hearts and the lovely hugs on here. And oh, it's lovely. Thank you. So think of little things that you can do. Is it that phone call? Is it singing? Is it dancing? Is it doing something you just don't have any courage or strength to do? Oh, thank you, Stace. She said, I've got a wonderful calming voice. Oh, thank you. That's a big compliment. Thank you very much. I'm going to be doing, haven't said voice things there, I'm going to be doing a nice meditation for this month's full moon, and I'll be putting that on here and obviously on YouTube and my channel eventually. That's for Friday when we're in May. So it's going to be lovely. So I hope you have a lovely day. I won't see you next week because obviously 2 bank holidays and stuff, but I'll see you the week after, and I will put my meditations up on my website and obviously on YouTube and on Facebook. So you'll get those probably on Friday. So you'll hear a nice calm voice then. Thank you, Anne. It's lovely to see you, darling. Thank you for the hearts. So have a think about all the things I've suggested, Just tell yourself, I get out of my comfort zone and do more great things on my own. Just think about being on your own doesn't mean lonely. It means stretching and trusting and knowing yourself. Really loving the thought of moving forward into something new without thinking too much. Just maybe encourage yourself to think of the positive outcome you want from that thing. But don't think about the fear or the worry. Cross that out instead. Perhaps go to those things I've suggested and learn how to cross it out and be in charge of those thoughts so you get the courage and the confidence to move forward and then feel amazing. That's what I want for you. So I'm bringing this to a close now. I think I will. And I'm sending you all love and happy Monday hugs. And I really hope, perhaps share this on YouTube if it's on later, but share it with your friends and family because they may just need to be inspired, perhaps with a thought or, something that can move them forward, even one positive thought, even tiny steps of listening to a podcast or reading a book that's good for them. Maybe that would be the change that they need and get out of their comfort zones. Great. So namaste, Lots of love. And I shall see you Monday next for the next Tea with Nan. And I hope you go on my website and on YouTube to find the next, and on here of course, to see the meditations and to really enjoy being relaxed and in harmony with yourself. Right, take care everybody. Lots of love to all of you. Take care. Bye. Bye.